In a recent Hyundai Investor Day presentation, an incredible discovery has been made, revealing the Hyundai Motor Group's revised plan that includes a total of 17 electric models in its lineup, and to sell 1.87 million units annually by the year 2030. This is revised from Hyundai's plan last year, which included 13 EV models in the lineup, and to sell 1.7 million units annually by the year 2026, but that was for all of the Hyundai Motor Group including Kia. Kia has its own plan of selling 1.2 million units annually by 2030. 2030 happens to be the year that Europe will place a ban on ICE vehicles, only allowing pure electric and hybrid electric vehicles to be sold in the continent. Also, many developed countries including the US, Canada, and Australia will enact similar bans as well. 2030 is also the year in which Hyundai is becoming an exclusive EV manufacturer, as its luxury brand Genesis is to only release the pure electric vehicles from that year. Included in the Hyundai Motor Group's new plan are 6 Genesis products, including 4 SUVs and 2 passenger car models. As for Genesis products, we will reserve them for a future issue in this series. In this issue, however, we will look into 11 Hyundai branded products to be introduced by 2030, to mark the start of its grand journey towards full carbon neutrality by the year 2045. Once again, this report does not cover Kia products, as the second largest Korean automaker is actually considered an independent company, under the Hyundai Motor Group umbrella. We will also talk about Kia's future in a later episode. So, before we go on, we'd highly appreciate your support by subscribing, and turning on the notification bell, if you haven't already. And please don't forget to like, comment, and vote on the question that's presented at the end of the video. Hyundai's grand plan includes a total of $80 billion US in investment to create the EV lineup. The investment will go towards many avenues, not only in product development but in the areas such as the development of new platforms and battery systems to further improve modularization. The famous eGMP platform will now be standardized even further, to allow for the development of every type of vehicle, even easier and more cost effectively. This new platform will be now called the EM platform, and will be differentiated from the ES platform, which will be for the B2B applications, for use in PBV or purpose-built vehicles, where Hyundai also wishes to be the pioneer and a dominant force. Also, the battery type and shapes will be standardized and modularized to allow for more efficient EV production. Hyundai will group the batteries into 3 different types. These include the standard NMC chemistry, NMC performance, and LFP for the entry-level EV applications, and this is again subdivided into 800-volt class with 6 different battery arrangements, and 400-volt class with 3 battery arrangements, to arrive at a total of 9 different battery modules to adapt to all vehicle types and shapes. Hyundai will also invest towards increasing the range of the EVs by improving the efficiency, not only through better software, but by applying new battery construction technologies such as cell-to-pack, and even cell-to-frame that places the battery directly to the structure of the vehicle, which would result in the ultimate energy density that could rival lithium metal chemistry or solid-state batteries. So what EV models will these technologies be applied to? Let's find out. By the year 2030, it's expected that Hyundai would have completed its eGMP or the new EM-based Ioniq series of advanced EVs from Ioniq 1 to Ioniq 9, matching the 9 models that include 6 SUV and 3 standard car models mentioned in the report. The remaining 2 models include 1 commercial EV, as well as 1 undisclosed new model, which we'll discuss at the end of the video. To start, the first of the 9 Ioniq model is the EV that we are already very familiar with, which is the sensational Ioniq 5 that have received all sorts of praises and acclaim since its release last year, such as winning the German Car of the Year, and more recently Auto Express's Car of the Year, for its blazingly fast charging speed, long range, quality, and the stylish design inside and out. The second model is the upcoming Ioniq 6, which will be the first ever dedicated electric sedan from the company. Although based on the Ioniq 5, the Ioniq 6 is expected to be far more efficient than Crossover's EPA-certified range of 303 miles, with the anticipated range of up to 350 miles for the new sedan. The stunning prophecy concept-inspired Ioniq 6 promises to be another huge seller, especially in North America. The next model being prepared as we speak is the EV that many of our European viewers are very much looking forward to. The Ioniq 3 will be a compact SUV, in the same class as Kia Seltos and similar to Kia Niro in size. The Ioniq 3 will be the first model in the Ioniq range that's to utilize the LFP chemistry battery to make the electric SUV more affordable. With the aforementioned cell-to-pack technology applied, the relatively lower-ranged LFP battery is expected to pack higher energy density to offer a similar range as the NMC battery. Essentially a smaller Ioniq 5, expect the range to be 250 miles or 400 kilometers, utilizing a 58 kWh battery, and the power electric systems that range from 168 to 232 horsepower derived from the Ioniq 5. Being based on the Ioniq 5's EGMP platform, it will feature the same great 800-volt charging technology for an ultra-fast charging time of 18 minutes 10 to 80%, and the trademark bidirectional flow V2L and V2G functions. The expected release is in 2023 with a relatively low starting price of $35,000. The fourth model, and the product that we are already familiar with, is the Ioniq 7, which is expected to be a full SUV version of the Ioniq 5, with the boxier and usable SUV shape, inspired by the 7 concept, featuring the design theme borrowed from the futuristic Staria minivan. It's to be a 3-row SUV with the capacity of 7 or 8 passengers, utilizing the extended platform of the Ioniq 5, and will offer similar performance and range. The Ioniq 7 is slated for the 2024 release with an estimated starting price of $50,000. The fifth model that's being planned is the even larger SUV known as the Ioniq 9, expected to be the largest SUV ever produced by Hyundai. It's to have an incredible wheelbase of 3,200 mm or 126 inches, which is 200 mm longer than that of the current king of the Hyundai lineup, Palisade, to offer incredible interior space to create living room on wheels, as seen in the 7 concept. With an overall dimension of more than 5 meters in length, 2 meters in width, and 1.9 meters in height, the Ioniq 9 will be comparable to the likes of the Chevy Tahoe or GMC Yukon. The 3-row Ioniq 9 SUV will offer a 100 kWh battery, which would be the biggest battery to be featured on Hyundai EVs, and is expected to attain up to 400 miles or 650 kilometers in range. As the flagship product, the Ioniq 9 will also provide ample performance, with a power electric system ranging from 300 to 600 horsepower. The expected release date is 2024 or 2025, with a starting price of $60,000. The sixth Ioniq product is the Ioniq 1, which would be the smallest vehicle in the lineup, as the name suggests. The Ioniq 1 will be what's known as a city car or A-segment car in Europe, which would be cars like Fiat 500 and Chevy Spark in North America. With a length of 150 inches, it will roughly be the size of the Hyundai i10 city car currently sold in Europe. It will feature Borg-Warner-sourced 400-volt integrated drive module, good for up to 181 horsepower, which is a similar system that's found in the current Ford Mustang Mach-E. As a 400-volt system, the charging speed will be a bit slower, but will still achieve 10 to 80% in about 40 minutes. Paired with a 39 kWh battery, the expected range is about 200 miles or 320 kilometers, which would be more than sufficient for a city car, primarily meant for urban commuting usage. Also, its SUV-styled body, which is derived from the internal combustion Casper city car, would provide quite a bit of usable interior space, offering excellent versatility, including room for 4 adults. As an entry-level car, it's estimated to be sold for a low price of $25,000, if it's to be sold in the US, but the price can be reduced even further to about $19,000, if the battery lease plan is optioned, and you are only buying the vehicle itself. The expected launch date of the smallest EV in the lineup is as early as 2023. For those of you who are interested in smaller EV, but find Ioniq 1 to be too small, you might find the 7th model to your liking. The Ioniq 2 will be a B-segment vehicle, that will be similar to the current Venue in North America and Bayon in Europe, and will feature the same drivetrain and battery as the Ioniq 1, but will be offered in a more useful size. Unlike the Ioniq 1, the Ioniq 2 is certain to be released in North America, at the estimated starting price of just under $30,000, when it's released in 2024 or 2025. So far, it's all been crossovers and SUVs, but the next one will pique your interest, if you are a fan of a small coupe or hatchback. Expected to be called Ioniq 4, the only compact hatchback in the lineup is to be a successor to the excellent Veloster 4-door coupe. It's not certain if the Ioniq 4 would still feature the unique asymmetrical door arrangement with 1 door on the driver's side and 2 on the other, but from our understanding, the small coupe-like hatchback is to pack some punch. To be driven by a power electric system derived from the high-performance Ioniq 5N, the N version of the smaller hatchback would feature between 400 to 500 horsepower to offer exhilarating performance that would easily exceed the current Veloster, which is already plenty fast as the current king of the sports compact, with a 0 to 60 miles per hour time of 4.9 seconds. But unlike the current Veloster, which is front-wheel drive only, the Ioniq 4 is to be offered also in all-wheel drive, for spectacular handling and track performance. The expected release date would be after 2025 with the estimated starting price of $35,000. The 9th and final Ioniq model will be the Ioniq 8, which is to be a large sedan, even larger than the Ioniq 6 with a length of nearly 5 meters. to be an eventual replacement for the current Grandeur large sedan, which was also known as Azera. When it was sold in North America a generation ago, the largest Hyundai sedan in history is expected to have a length of 5,100 mm or 201 inches. It will likely share the drivetrain of the Ioniq 9, and offer 300 to 600 horsepower paired with 100 kWh battery, to attain 400 miles or 650 kilometers in range, to contest for the top spot in large electric sedan class, with the likes of Tesla Model S. The anticipated release is after 2027, with the estimated starting price of $60,000. The last undisclosed model is likely to be Hyundai's Halo car, which is to feature a hydrogen plug-in hybrid system that can be operated as a battery electric vehicle but also has the fuel cell stack as the range extender. Hyundai's first ever supercar will likely wear the N moniker, similar to Audi R8, to symbolize the ultimate in Hyundai's performance prowess. To be jointly developed with Rimac, as was the case with the Vision FK concept, which showcased the hydrogen hybrid concept for the first time. Vision FK, with a combined range of 375 miles, used Rimac battery pack and motors, with Hyundai fuel cell stack to arrive at the total system power of 671 horsepower, but the N supercar is expected to produce up to 1,000 horsepower. The anticipated release date is after 2027. Before we proceed to the end of the video question, please support the channel by joining our membership, and enjoying the exclusive content and preview of the upcoming episodes. Also, don't forget to join our forum and share your passion for Korean cars at KoreanCarNews.com. As for the end of the video question, which of the 9 electric models that have yet to be released interests you the most? Please vote and share your views by clicking on the link in the comment section below or in the description. Thanks for watching AutoVision. See you next time with the latest Korean car news.